What's up, guys? It's been a day, it's been a week, it's been a couple weeks. We're trying something new, okay? If Emma Chamberlain can vlog laying down in bed, so can I. I really didn't want to make a video today, but I'm going to, and I figured, why not try something new? Why not try vlogging laying down? Because you're probably laying down, right, if you're watching this? If I'm being honest, my mental health hasn't really been great the last couple weeks. Before I get into like the topic of today's video, it's kind of just like a chit chat. I really wanted to, sorry it's so bright, it's like snowing out. Really just wanted to give a little update on my no buy month and how that's going, but talk about my mental health, which is kind of like going hand in hand. So I just wanted to be like really authentic with what's going on and not like fake it just for the video, because my whole goal and intention of my platform was to be as authentic as I possibly can. After I tested positive for COVID at the beginning of January and I literally couldn't do anything for a week, I really like had this like surge of energy, and I was like creating content constantly. Like I made so many YouTube videos, which put me on this like Tuesday, Thursday schedule that I'm currently on, and making like constant TikTok, which is totally great because I feel like the only videos that have performed well are videos that I took kind of like on a whim and didn't put any effort in, and like the stuff that I'm actually putting effort in and like planning out and editing and taking a lot of time to do are just not performing well. And like obviously social media isn't everything, but when you put a lot of effort and work into something and it flops, it's like really hard, especially when you feel very passionate about it. And it's hard not to compare yourself or, you know, ask yourself like what's wrong with me, or like what am I doing wrong. And after so many weeks of like having so much energy to create so much content and feeling really confident, and like I feel like I'm just kind of like hitting a wall of like I just don't know what to do anymore. So that probably sounds stupid to some people, but that's just kind of where I'm at right now, which is why I'm laying down, because yeah, I just don't really feel that good. But I did want to talk to you guys about how my no buy month is going. I'm about halfway through. This week is officially halfway through, and I just wrote down some notes a couple days ago of like how I was feeling, so let's talk about it. In other news, I actually made a therapy appointment today, which I kind of talk about in this. So I'm going to talk about therapy a little bit, but I made one today. So I've stayed strong. I haven't bought anything. I haven't bought clothes, shoes, jewelry, nothing. I haven't even run out of any of my personal things like deodorant or like makeup or skincare. So I haven't even upped on that because I haven't run out. So I really have been not buying anything. I haven't bought Starbucks. I think I went out to dinner with my friend once, and then we did takeout earlier this week for Valentine's Day, but that's literally it. The good news is I can already tell how much I've saved. I checked my bank account and I have about $700 more than I usually do at this time of the month, which is huge. Obviously that's a lot of money. So it was really good for me to see that savings. Whenever I kind of feel myself feeling weak, I just go and I look at my bank account and I just remind myself that I'm doing this to just cleanse and get control of myself again and be stronger, have the self-control that I really want. The first couple of weeks were really easy because I just wanted to prove to myself that I could do this, and I was really fueled by my pride. So it was super easy. Like I was like, oh, like I just won't go on any websites, I won't do anything, like it's literally gonna be fine. Now that we're about halfway through, probably within this last week, I've started to feel myself being very tempted, just because like, especially when I'm feeling down, like I just go shopping and it kind of like makes me feel better for a little bit. And now that I'm not doing that, I've kind of really had to sit and like face my emotions and like my mental health and like what I'm dealing with, because like I've always used shopping as a coping mechanism and just to like buy things to like feel better if I'm feeling down. So I think especially this past week I've been more anxious than usual just for like personal reasons. And it's weird because I still feel very anxious, although like everything that I was worried about is basically resolved, especially getting a therapist this week. That was huge. That does feel like a win for me. Like I feel good about that. Not being able to shop when I've kind of just been feeling really down has probably been the biggest thing. Like I've gone on plenty of websites and I see things that I've had on my list of wants that I keep in my phone, and I'm so tempted, and I'm like, Alyssa, just do it. Like, who cares? It's your money. Just do it. Nobody has to know. But like at the end of the day, this is a challenge to myself, and I'm not like, I can't just give up on it, especially when I'm halfway through. It's really crazy the response that I feel in my brain. Like my brain is literally like, just do it. Like I feel like this fight or flight sensation in my brain that is, and I get this adrenaline rush to just click like check out, which is hello, that's like problematic. And I just keep coming up with like all these excuses like, oh, what if it sells out by the time this month is over? What if it's no longer available? And to that I just say, what's meant to be will be. Or this is what I'm telling myself. What's meant to be will be. If it's still in stock, I will be able to purchase it when I feel ready. I obviously want to adjust my spending habits permanently past this month. And if it's out of stock, it wasn't meant to be, or it'll eventually restock. I'll be able to find something else. Hearing myself talk like this is crazy because it's literally just clothes. But I'm sure anybody who has like a shopping addiction or like uses shopping as a coping mechanism can level with me on some level. I hope I don't sound crazy, like materialistic, because I swear it's really not like that. Like I'm acting like not being able to buy clothes is the end of the world when there are like much bigger problems in the world, and I'm very, very aware of that. This is a first world problem and I get that. But I just wanted to kind of like share my experience and be transparent and challenge myself to just be better. It's been helping me to just kind of take a second and like close my eyes and like breathe and just feel like, Alyssa, remember, like no buy month, like it's gonna be fine, you can do it, it's really not that big of a deal. So I usually just like end up clicking off the screen, and sometimes I end up like thinking about it for a couple hours, and I'm like, but just like, why can't I do it? But other than that, I'm really proud of myself. Like this is exactly what I mean by practicing self-control. It's telling myself no. And I've always like, I have a hard time telling myself no, obviously, because I have that adrenaline rush and just instinct to just buy it right away and not stop myself. So I'm proud of myself. There's been a lot of times that I told myself no and I clicked off and I didn't buy it, which was my whole goal this entire time. But yeah, it's definitely kind of like made me realize that it's a problem and I did the right thing doing this. It just kind of sucks that I feel so down, especially over something as like stupid as clothes. I mean, that's not the whole reason that I'm down, but it's definitely like impacting me that I can't just like make myself feel better by going to buy something. Always feeling like you need to buy something and like add and collect and top, and when you are like addicted to clothes or like material items, like you just truly never feel like you have enough. Like I have a list of like clothing items that are like things that I want, and like that list just grows. Like I'll buy something and then I'll realize I want another thing. Like it never like minimizes. Like I never am like, oh, I have 10 things and then I'm gonna eventually get to one. Like I just always add stuff, and it's just exhausting, like never feeling complete. When in reality, I don't need any of this stuff really. Like I've lived without it. I've lived without it this long. It's all purely wants and like things that I think will make me more complete or more fashionable or have content for YouTube and stuff like that. And those are the wrong reasons to want to buy things and spend your money. I mean, it's okay to spend money on things that you love and you enjoy that and that make you feel happy, but sometimes my reasoning feels really inauthentic, and that's the unhealthy part. It definitely kind of like resembles a detox for sure. Like I feel like if I ever feel anxious or upset about something, I just like immediately open H&M and Zara. So kind of dealing with my frustrations throughout the day face to face and actually having to sit with them and think about them instead of just mindlessly scrolling through clothing website has been eye-opening. So I'm excited to just see how I feel at the end of all of this. What I also find interesting is that there were a couple things like at the beginning of the month that I kind of wanted, and I was like, man, like I'm doing this no buy month, it's gonna be so easy. Like if I still want it at the end, like I'll think about it. And like granted, there are some things that I've wanted for a while that I still want now, but there was like random things that I saw on like TikTok or something after starting my no buy month, and 2 weeks later I don't even feel the need for it anymore. Like I think I wanted like this ring that was green, and I was like, oh my god, I want it so bad, but I'm gonna have to wait. And now I look at it and I'm like, I'm really happy I didn't buy that because I don't actually like it. I don't actually want it. So that just shows like when you impulse buy, you're not truly thinking about if this is like gonna have longevity, if you're actually gonna keep this and use this. So that's just an overall good thing that I feel like I've learned. Like give yourself a week or two, or at least a couple days to think about if you really want something, because you might not want it in a couple weeks. So then you just save yourself the hassle, the money, and like the freaking pollution of ordering the item in the first place. So if I haven't learned anything, at least I've learned that like impulse buying is like literally never a good idea. Just think about it for a little bit. If you still want it, then do it. But if you don't, you saved yourself. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. If this is the first video of mine that you're watching, hey, sorry I'm sitting on the couch, but this is what I felt like doing. So I don't really want to be fake on here. So I am doing what I can. And again, if Emma Chamberlain can do it, I can do it. I still talked about the good things, right? It just wasn't a pretty setup and I wasn't sitting up, but I still talked about it. If you're thinking about doing a no buy month, I strongly suggest it. I don't really think there's any cons at all, especially if you make rules for yourself and stay within your own rules and do it at your own pace and stuff. But it's been overall a really good experience, and I feel like I'm learning a lot about myself. So if you're up for the challenge, definitely do it with me. I'm only gonna make one other video, and that's just at the end of the month, and just talk about everything that I've learned. So it's currently the 17th, so 11 more days, and then I will talk about my final thoughts. But in the meantime, it would mean the world to me if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified every single time I post. Leave a like, leave a comment, whatever you feel like doing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!